Welcome back to This Day. It's time to get up to speed with the Golden Rain Foundation. Joining me now is Juanita Skillman. Juanita, hi, so nice to see you today.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm pleased you came in. And so, it's the holidays, definitely in the thick of everything, and everybody's getting sick and overwhelmed and lots to do.
I've got the cold that's going around.
Yeah, but I hope you feel better soon, definitely. But so GRF, as well as the other mutuals, the work doesn't stop. Everything, yeah, still got to keep plugging along. So I understand you just had the December meeting, and so tell us about what happened at the meeting this month.
Okay, well, first of all, we were introduced to 3 new directors, and we were very happy because these are positions that have needed to be filled, that we've been working on filling for quite a while. And particularly the first one, Melissa Lerich, the manager of social services. Now, she was on This Day yesterday, so people got to know her a little bit better, but that position has been empty for quite a few months.
Oh, wow.
John Cox, our landscaping department, we are so thrilled to have him. He is replacing one of my favorite people in the whole world. And Bob's retiring at the end of this year, and so John will be filling in, not filling in, taking over. And they're both very, very well qualified.
Oh,
and then last but not least, we have Alan Grimshaw, who is the new manager of Manor Alterations, which is one of our real sore spots here in the village.
So what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, people move in and immediately think, oh, I want to change this, I want to do this, I want to change this. And they don't realize what a process it is. They think, oh, I can just come in and do it. They don't realize there are permits to be pulled, that there are city permits to be pulled, that there are all kinds of
just paperwork or things that you have to go
well,
through.
not just that, but things that they weren't aware of. They think, oh, well, I'll just do it. No, can't be done. So having a good manager in Manor Alterations, and they just reopened their office downstairs on the first floor, and it's much, much easier to go over plans and work with people now that they've redone their office area.
Oh, good.
So,
that's great.
we were really pleased with those 3 things.
And is that the same for interior remodeling, or is this mostly like exterior?
No, this is all interior remodeling.
All interior as well. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, there's a big difference between a condo and a co-op, and what you can do in a condo because you own it, and what you can do in a co-op, which you don't, that you're just leasing from the corporation. And so there's different rules back and forth and things that you can do. So.
Well, that's
All
great.
need
So
to be
Alan
taken
is the
into
man
account.
to talk to.
Alan is the man.
He must be very patient.
Yes, and I hope you all will have him on TV pretty soon to talk about what he's doing in alterations.
Absolutely, definitely.
Okay.
And then there's some unfinished business.
Right. And I wanted to take a minute to talk about, this is kind of not in order, but in unfinished business are things that have already come before the board and been put on 28-day review, because there really are 3 steps in anything that we do on the board. People think we just zing, zing, zing through, and we don't. You've got your committees, and your committee does all the research and the debate and works on it, and they put something forward to the board. And the board has a first reading, and the first reading basically says we're going to address it, and it puts it on a 28-day review. That's so all of the citizens, all of the residents have a chance to weigh in on the matter. And then the second reading, the unfinished business, are things that have already gone through the committee, have gone through the first reading and 28-day review, and now they're ready to be finalized. So we had a couple of things on that. We approved the recreation and the special events operating rules. This was a big, big thing. It's like, off the top of my head, I'm going to say 60-some pages of operating rules.
I was going to ask that.
For every single different club and organization.
Wow.
And the Community Activities Committee, the CAC, has been working on that for quite a while. And they put it forward, and it was first read last month, and then in December it was approved. And they also approved the fee increase for additional occupants. Now, we've had the fee for additional occupants before, and it's been $100 a month. But we looked and said, you know, this really isn't keeping up with inflation. It isn't keeping up with what we do. So we're just going to make a decision that from now on it's going to be 1/2 of whatever the GRF monthly assessment is. And right now that's $228, so it's going to be $114 starting the first of the year. And it'll change every year depending on what the GRF assessment is for that
And is
year.
this is for, I would assume, obviously like permanent occupants? What if someone's just coming for a month or two, or that kind of thing?
Well, they can rent or lease a unit, but somebody owns it. And whoever is the qualified owner, if you will, of that unit, they're the ones that are going to pay for it.
Okay, gotcha.
Then we also have new committee assignments. Now, those don't require 28 days. That's an administrative thing. Comes up almost every month where we have to change committees assignments. GRF committees are made up of 2 members from GRF, 2 from United, and 2 from Third, and 1 from Mutual 50 or the towers. And those change as the boards change and as different things. So it's not a one-time done thing with the committee assignments. And especially this time of year where we have a lot of new board members coming in, where we had elections. And so we approved the board members coming up in the new committee assignments and gave everybody a new assignment.
Okay.
And then we get to new business.
Yes.
Now, new business is something that has come from a committee. It has been thoroughly researched and looked at and debated before it is brought to the board. And again, this is the first reading where we say, all right, this is what we're looking at. This is what has come forward. Now, residents, you have 28 days to give us your input. Communication, everybody's always saying, we need more communication, we need more transparency. I don't know how we can do that in this village. We have over 13,000 units, 18,000 people. There's no way we can get everybody's opinion on everything by going to them. They have to come to us. It's a two-way street. We make it available. We've got the breeze. We've got the blast on Friday afternoons every week. We've got articles in the Globe this day, where there are lots of things to cover, so that it's out there if they want to take it. But what's the old saying? You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. We provide all this information, and it's on the website. And if you want to read in depth the 61 pages of the rules, you can do that online so that you are prepared to talk about any one. Maybe you just want to talk about the ceramics club. All right, you take that bit and you can talk about it. You can give us your input on that. Doesn't have to be the whole thing.
Okay.
So anybody that's interested in any part of it should just keep up on what's going on. Each of the mutuals and GRF have a newsletter that goes out once a month, and it lists all the things that are being discussed, the things that are going, what the committees are looking at. So
and these are coming to you in your email. Mm-hmm. So definitely make sure that you're just on a lookout for that.
Right.
Is
and
that
make
usually
sure that
like
you
at the
have
beginning of the month? Or?
Make sure that you have a current good email
that you're receiving
in our system. Because I know our newsletter for GRF just went out last week, and I heard there were 13 blowbacks of people who said this isn't a good email anymore.
Okay.
So they couldn't get it. So the big thing that's up there right now is the Clubhouse One Rehabilitation Project.
Yes.
Now, we've been working and working and working for years, literally, on this, and we finally got it down, so it's to be done. The contract has been let, and we expect to start in March.
Wonderful.
But that means that Clubhouse 1 is going to be closed for 6 months.
Okay, so it'll be 100% closed.
It's kind of like what we did with the Performing Arts Center when we redid it. So there were different options that we had. We could have spread it out over a year, but then you'd be doing a part and then another part, and it wasn't an economical way to go through. We save about $100,000 by going with the faster rate because the contractor can just set up and do it and not have to worry about getting in people's way and there. So
and then plus price increase on materials or things like that.
All of that good stuff. So Recreation is doing a monumental job of rescheduling clubs and events in different clubhouses because they won't be able to use Clubhouse 1 for 6 months.
Okay.
And I'm just absolutely amazed. There are literally hundreds of dates that need to be rescheduled in different places.
Yeah.
So Guy West is our projects manager through maintenance and construction, and he'll be overseeing all of this. And I'm just really pleased to get it all done. But I'm a library person, so I have to mention that the library and the History Center will not be closed.
Oh,
now,
good.
they're in a separate building out in front, and that will be open during the whole construction time. So
wonderful.
while the pool and the fitness center and all of the meeting rooms may be closed, the library and the History Center will be open.
Okay.
Now, we also have a new policy for setting room rentals on a 28-day review. This was read for the first time and presented to the people. And basically, the problem we've had is it's been done piecemeal. Every year they'll do a little bit here and a little bit there, and this will come up, and they'll change this, and they'll leave this the same, et cetera. That's really not a very good business way of doing it. So our finance committee, Jim Hopkins has been doing a fantastic job with our finance division here in VMS in setting up a new process for room rentals that's on 28-day review. So any of our residents out there that are interested in the room rentals and what's it going to cost them and what's it going to go up, is it going to go down, how it's going to be done, should really take a look at this policy. And I think that it'll be fair. That's the whole thing. It's going to be fair from year to year. It's not going to be depending on who's on the board and what their special interests are.
Okay.
So
yeah, more solidify the policy.
Now, we also accepted the resignation of Rhina Rothberg as our treasurer. She was elected in November as our treasurer. And she started and said, no, this really isn't my thing. It's not what I do best. I think I should resign. And so she resigned, and our newest member, William Cohen, was elected to fill that office. He's got a really great background in accounting and finance and business, and I think he'll do a really great job. Now, Rhina is not resigning from the board. She will remain on the board, and in fact, she's going to be chair of the Mobility and Vehicles Committee, because the towers are one of our biggest transportation users in the bus system. And so she has a lot of input there. So she's on other committees too, but she will continue on the board. It's just that she felt that treasurer was not her cup of tea.
Wasn't her specialty.
So we do like to do that.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've got a great person that came in with a lot of background.
Yeah,
so
we're
that'll be
really
wonderful.
looking forward to having William on the board. I think he's going to be a really good board member. We change board members. A third of our board changes almost every year.
Yeah.
And that's one of the strengths and one of the weaknesses of our governance system here, because that's the way it is with all of the boards.
Yeah.
And then you've got to get them up to speed, and they have to see what they can do best and where they contribute the most and that kind of thing. So that's really helpful.
Good.
And we wanted to let people know that they need to plan ahead to register their holiday guests. Use Dwelling Live online. It's the simplest, easiest way to go, fastest. They come right up to the gatehouses then, and they're on the list. But you can send them the passes via email in advance, so all I have to do is show it, and they don't have to stop and say, this is my name, and have it checked on a list.
Well, that's convenient.
Laguna Woods
I didn't even realize
Village.
you could do that you could have the pass printed out
Absolutely,
at home.
and
So that's
sent to
great.
them. Or it can be on their smartphone or their tablet if you don't want to print it out. Just
Yeah.
send it to them by email. And so if it's a last minute thing, and that happens certainly during the holiday season, you can still call Resident Services at 949-597-4600 and register them that day so that they can go up to the booth and still get in.
Okay.
But we prefer that you do it in advance, and with all the people coming in for the holidays to visit, et cetera, it makes it a lot easier on our ambassadors.
Because there will be a lot of people coming
That's
through.
right, and it's already done. They just look at the pass, they're ready to go. They don't have to stop and check their computer lists and that kind of thing.
We have Dwelling Live where I live, and I've even, inputted the information just minutes before my guest arrived, and it, they got through easily
It's on
and quickly.
it's on the computer now. We
Yeah.
have a multitude of gatehouses, which you probably don't.
Yeah.
So getting them to all of the gatehouses is a problem. That's why they have to stop and say, check your computer. I'm on the
Okay,
computer.
gotcha.
Now, Debbie Dotson has been doing the Let's Talk Tech here
Yes.
on Channel 6. And she had a whole thing on how to use Dwelling Live, and you can check that out on YouTube if you did not see it. And it will walk you through how to do it. So think about the holiday, think about making things not only easier for your guests, but easier for our employees
Yeah.
as well as we get through. And then last but not least, I'd like to talk about Dr. Robert Reyes.
Yes.
And Robert was elected as the GRF rep to VMS. We have 3 reps on VMS who rotate every year. We get a different one, and he replaced somebody who retired this year. We still have one vacancy still available and it's kind of an interesting thing. Cynthia was a GRF delegate, and she moved over to United, so her position for GRF is now open.
Okay.
So sometimes things move around,
Yeah.
but they're still on. But anyway, there is one vacancy that we'll fill the first of the year.
Okay.
But getting back to Dr. Reyes,
Yes.
I encourage everybody to come in to the Village Library and look at his creche scene. He is a collector extraordinaire. Many of you remember last year when his 19th century doll houses were put up, and they're gorgeous. He has collections you wouldn't believe.
Wow.
Well, this is a creche, and it's an old-fashioned creche. It's beautiful, so many pieces and everything. It's just, if you don't come to the library on a regular basis, which you should, at least come in and look at the creche. And we really thank Dr. Reyes for all of his
Yeah. And sharing it
things,
for the whole
sharing
community.
for all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has we have a demonstration book out that he does, changes every month, but this one is special, really special.
Well,
So-
wonderful. Well, thank you for being here and explaining all this for us. And I'm excited to go see the library now.
Yeah, everybody should come anyway, but it's really nice to go and see his creche. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So
Well, thank you. And happy holidays to you.
you too. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and
Yeah.
New Year.
Thank you. You as well. Well, stay with us. We have announcements and weather coming up right after this.